However, let's say this takes some time to calculate or something, and we'll just fake that by using a timeline again. And then you want to tell this that is finished doing its stuff, or vice versa. This could tell that information. So let's add a switch at the end of this timeline. We'll just put it on 1 second, and we'll make sure this is just a test. We'll just put this in there, and then on here we want it to actually destroy itself after that time. So let's remove that and wire the switch in to that. So the first thing you'd have to do, because this is being emitted, you have to make sure the emit with wires is on, so that when it gets emitted it wires up to the destroyer again. So when the tag goes into the zone, it emits the scoring thing. When the scoring thing is done, it tells this by way of a wire. The problem comes when you copy that. Now where is this meant to go? It's still plugged into the original, but you can't just wire this into all of them, because then if I wire this into this one, first of all it's a bit tedious to have to do that, but also if I go into this zone, once that's finished it's going to destroy all of them. So you only want it to really communicate between this, the one that the tag went into the zone for, and the object that it emitted. So to do that, we'll emit it in a particular place. So let's put it like, maybe we'll emit it right beneath it, for example, and we'll do things wirelessly. So instead of using wires, and keyframes also wouldn't work with this, because those use invisible wires effectively, we'll use wireless things to trigger stuff. So in here we'll have a trigger zone, for example, and we'll power that trigger zone, and it's going to look for a tag called done. And then in here, instead of it being directly wired, we'll just have a tag called done and put that in a particular place. So we'll put that beneath as well, and then we'll move this to make sure it's in the sculpt that we placed. So now, because the trigger zone turns on after that time, this can find out about it through the tag, because it's being detected by that trigger zone, and then it will send a signal out of tag output when it's detected and turn on the destroyer. Let's try that and put the tag into the zone, and that worked perfectly fine. But now if we copy that over here, when you go in here, it's emitting there, so only those two can communicate, and it can't communicate with that one. And then you go over here, and it has a separate thing, and it's communicating with its emitted logic as well. But they can only do that because they're in the right place, kind of thing, and are communicating wirelessly. The same thing could work with transmitters and receivers. So you do like a transmitter thing there. Note that transmitters use the position of the gadget or the microchip, so I'll have to put that there. I'll just turn on X-ray mode, put it roughly in the middle, so the transmitter point will be there. And then in here we can have a receiver, or you can do this the other way around, because transmitters and receivers can just communicate with each other if they're in the right place. And then that will trigger the destroyer instead. So let's test that. Goes in the zone. That works. And if we have multiple copies, then they will work independently of each other. So that's how you can kind of send and receive different values and signals like that. I'd like to thank WoodSense, Martinity DK, Jason AC, and all of my other supporters for making this tutorial possible. Check out TAPgiles.com to find out how you can support me in helping Dreams creators. Thanks for your consideration, and I'll see you in the next one.